Where do you think they go next? And is it a specific position group, or tell me what Florida State's got cooking right now?
Give us more, man. We want some more. Now it's probably not going to be as many as we thought, that they were going to add, from the start. And that's not a lot total, but there's going to be a lot of activity in the spring that I feel like they're going to want to leave some guys for, maybe leave six, ships for. So I think, for one, I think, we could see a situation where, you add two or three more edge guys, and then you also add probably, you know, let's just hypothetically say they get three or four in this window of offensive linemen, then get the rest. I think later we could kind of see that, and to me that would be certainly a solid success. So I think a lot of where they go next is offensive line. There's some decisions we're waiting on. Certainly, Caden Kittler visited today, last 2 days. Declined to interview, which kind of the same thing that Gunner did the day before, and there's a feeling, gut feeling of that Caden's kind of the number one like center guy that they want, and certainly they put a lot of work in getting him there in his lake. So that's one that I think they're waiting on. Then there's also Addison Nichols, who plays both. I think he's a starting center at Arkansas. That's one they're waiting on as well. I think SMU is also very involved in there, and they might possibly get both of them or none of them. But I mean,
Right, right.
but they've done a really good job where the feeling I get off Addison was that's kind of the place that's preferred. People that I've talked to, but overall, I think you're waiting on that. You also have Marcellus Marshall, who's also another UCF, but he's a tackle. You just had a mega Blake who visited, a wide receiver out of Charlotte, originally committed to South Carolina high school. That's another one that they feel like there's certainly a real chance for, and they're waiting on. And then you also have Randy Pittman, tight end at UCF, that came over early in the week for a visit. I think FSU feels pretty good about where that visit was when he left there, but we'll have to wait once again, another one. So we're really decision waiting right now, and then you have a few more visits coming up, certainly. And I was told, like, don't set your schedule for Friday or the weekend to make sure you're available, because there's probably going to be more guys that are added to that'll
Hmm.
be visiting over the weekend. Um, I think that's kind of what I got behind the scenes of. There's some more visits coming up. We know about the big one with Duce Robinson. That's kind of where we sit in the holding a waiting pattern now on the decisions.
Yeah, again, so it's hurry up and wait it sometimes, and it could be like it was on Tuesday, which is, the span of about an hour, you get two commits out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Duce Robinson will be on campus on Friday. Michael, that's one that, I've been over the PRB a little extra for
yeah,
that, just
yeah.
because we work with Dominic Robinson, got to speak with Dad. They're juiced, man. They feel excited to be coming to Tallahassee. It's not just Dad bringing his son, who, and it's that I'm told that Mike Norvell and Gus Malzahn's pitch to Duce resonated in a way that many haven't, even from when he was back in high school. But
Hmm.
it still is something that needs to be I's dotted, T's crossed to nail the visit in
Yeah.
order to maybe prevent him from going other places. What are you hearing from Florida State side about that particular recruitment?
Yeah, they felt good about their pitch at the beginning pitch. I think you kind of touched on that, and then on two, I think coming out of high school, there was kind of, is he playing tight end or receiver, and he felt like he was a receiver, and he's shown that he's a receiver. So I think once that shifted over to that, and then you measure in what FSU's done with big receivers like Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman, and then the guys they recruited in the class, I don't think there's a guy below 6'4" that they landed in that, and that resonates with a guy I think like Deuce, that's something that I expect to be a heavy presence on that visit of what their plan is of him and his length and his height to utilize, but also from a personal standpoint of what the program's built on, because Deuce has never got a really detailed visit at FSU. I'm not even sure he visited. He might have visited once, or may not all. But my point is, like, this is his chance to really lay the FSU foundation of what they are with Norvell, and certainly if they nail it, certainly it's a good shot you could see them there. But I think overall I agree with you, Tom. They need to nail it, and I don't think they're taking the feeling I get. They're not taking anything for granted going in that visit. That they're pretending like they're 10 points behind and they're in the fourth quarter. So
Yep.
I think that's the way they view it, and it's certainly a coveted guy. For other news, Kendrick Law did not show up at some of that visit got canceled before he was expected to arrive over there. I haven't heard if it's like the FSU thing, but if you look at kind of what they need, which is proven guys, I think Duce fits that, and the guy they just had visiting Omega fits that. So they might have put the gabots on that and said, hey, you know what? We feel good about where we stand, either going into that Duce visit or just what we came out of with a mega visit. But and it's going to be also the key. What I'm watching is there any other receivers that set up visits to go to FSU? So if there isn't, that's kind of a tell sign that hey, they might feel good about kind of where they sit with those guys.
So in sum, if we're just talking about offensive line, because I feel like at least when we do the live shows here on Warchant TV, we hear about the offensive line. Where are the linemen? Gunnar Hansen calmed everybody down a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're thinking that if it gets to a handful, that'd be a bit of a surprise, but maybe 3 or 4 for the winter cycle. And then maybe they will add some more after we get past New Year's into the spring. Is that fair? Or do you think it still could be closer to a half dozen kids?
It still could expand to that for this winter cycle, but I think if they got 4, they feel good. Like I think they would feel good. Like you know what, got 4, 6, 7 is kind of the mark that I guess the 7 is the ultimate. But I think if you got if you got 4, then you have 2 left, and that gives you a spring cycle to really evaluate some missing pieces that you can add in there. Because I the one takeaway I get from them in the portal is like whether you agree with it or not, whether it's the slow play on the visits or not, or whatever you don't like, they're very concentrated on certain guys that they're going after. They feel like the guys they're going after, they're definitely hits, and they're making sure that they're ones that are coveted both from their side, from the recruit side, and then to the FSU side, that they know this fit's going to work. We're going to make it happen. But I think they've been very concentrated on really not putting too many visits out there where they don't want to feel like they throw a lot of confusion into the players they're recruiting, where if you had like 4 receivers on campus, but then it's like, okay, where did each one of them stand? I think it's kind of like they've made a really concentrated effort to the prospects that they picked out. So I don't think that's on accident. I think that's on purpose, where because they know that the spring cycle could certainly open up of a lot more guys that they feel like we got to hold these spots just in case.
Well, remember, tune into the premium recruiting board 24 hours a day, 8 days a week. We'll go with the Beatles there on warchant.com for all the information. Michael Langston has it. Matt Lasser has it. Up-to-date information on visits, on intel from specific prospects, whether they are coming on campus, leaving campus. And remember, if you're already a warchant.com subscriber, you can upgrade now and receive a $20 gift code to Garnet and Gold when you do. Plus, the benefit of having 15% off. That's an extra 5% off all Garnet and Gold purchases while your subscription is active. That's Warchant Gold. It's unlimited, baby. It's the ad-free experience at warchant.com. Make sure to keep it tuned this weekend because, as Michael said, you never know who might be popping up on campus on Saturday. Maybe during halftime of that SMU Penn State college football playoff game, you pop on over to the PRB and see what's going on. There could be some things afoot in Tallahassee. Michael, as always, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you making time for us on the TV side of things.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And Tom did a great job illustrating that deal, guys. It's almost Christmas, so it's the perfect time to take advantage of that deal. So hit that like button. Also, you stay tuned, and possibly I could have another wrap later this weekend. We'll see if I get enough where I feel like doing. But I think I've covered a lot of what they did. I think Matt's done a great job with updates. So just stay tuned to Warchant. We'll certainly have a lot more. I'm sure this isn't the last video I'll do with Tom and the coming days. So we'll see.
That's correct. Before Christmas, I'm going to set our over-under for portal videos at 5.5.
There you go.
5.5. We'll see if we hit the over or the under. Hit subscribe to the channel, and you'll see whether we hit the over or the under. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time right here on Warchant TV.